Okay, so welcome everyone to this small tutorial of mine. So in this tutorial I'll be showing you how I solved some issues that I went across when I was using the fillet curve node, and met out of challenges which I will explain in the end. And in this tutorial I'll be just fixing it. I'll be showing you my way and my process on how I dealt with it, okay? So I'll just, first of all, this is just preferences. I'll just swap these areas and move it a bit, and I'll select everything to delete. Then I'll just add in a curve cycle, go into the edit mode, and look from the top, then shift D this, I hold it somewhere there, then maybe also add in a bezier curve, scale it a bit, and I think I'll be comfortable enough with just these three curves. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this space with a face in each of these curves, and we're not going to be using the fillet curve node because it's somewhat glitchy, and I'll be just showing you my process on how I reach there. So heading over to the geometry node workspace, and I'll just reduce the spreadsheet window a bit, look from the top, and I'll just click on the new for a new geometry node system. So first thing first, I will just convert this to a mesh. No, not actually convert this into a mesh. I will make sure to convert it to be cyclic, okay, by setting the spline to be cyclic. And just check the cyclic part here. Then I'll add in a trim curve node, something like this. Now what this trim curve node is actually going to do is that it's going to make these curves not cyclic, but it's going to make the endpoints be very close to each other, which is going to be very essential. And afterward, I'm going to just convert these curves into a mesh, as you can see. Then I'm just going to use the domain size. Okay, what this is going to do is just going to tell us the number of points, edges, and faces and face corners which are found in this mesh. Okay, and to the input I'll actually connect a mesh cycle, which is going to be somewhere there. Okay, and we're going to fill it with n-cons. You can use triangles, but you have to use triangles later, not in this process right now. And we're going to connect the point count into the vertices. Okay, then I'm going to set the position of this, of every vertices in this based on this mesh over here. Okay, so I'm going to use a sample index. Then we're going to set it to vector, going for the position, and index for the index. Okay, we're just going to connect the index node, and we're going to connect this value into the position. Okay, now it looks a little bit wonky, and yeah, as you can see, let me remove the spaces a bit, grab it somewhere there, and grab it somewhere. It's actually not necessary at all. I'm just doing this, but it's not actually necessary. It's glitching in the middle, and what we're just going to do now is delete this face over here, which I'll be just showing you in a sec. Okay, and somewhere there looks better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to merge by distance, something like that, and afterwards we'll be having 4 faces, okay, which is a face from here, a face here, and a face here, and this face that is joining all these curves together, all these original curves together. So how are we going to do that? Then remove this face that is in the middle. We're going to use the delete geometry node. And how are we going to direct it? We're going to direct it by using the edge vertices. See, this face here in the middle is connected to vertices which have a vertex neighbor of more than 2 in both of its vertices, connecting here, here, and here. So we're going to use a edge vertices node. Okay, and actually we will change this to edges and the delete geometry node. So this edge vertices is just telling the index of the vertices that make that single edge. Okay, so with this we can get the information of the indexes of the vertices that make up this edge, and through their indexes we can know whether the vertex that they are connected to was connected to more than 2 vertices or 3 or 4 whatsoever. But if it's more than 2, then it's making up this face over here. So if you didn't get it, just follow along. We're just going to use a field.index. I'm using 3.4. My computer is not able to work with 3.5. That's quite bad, but I think I'll change it in the future. So, and we're going to use an edge, a vertex neighbor, sorry, a vertex neighbor, and we're going to take this one, connect it here. Actually, let me change it to integer and connect it there. Okay, so afterwards we're going to say that is it equal or is it greater than 2. Okay, then afterwards we're going to do this again, shift control D, but this time for vertex 2. Okay, then we're also going to ask the same, is it greater than 2? Then we're going to connect a boolean math set to end, so that this edge here is connected to 2 vertices here, 2 vertices there, so it will be chosen to be deleted in this geometry node. And if I just mute it, and you can see everything was deleted. And see, this edge was connected here, here, and its vertices had more vertices, yeah, connected to each other, connected together. And if I mute this, you can see everything works perfectly. I can move it around, nothing, there's no problem with this at all. I didn't experience any problem, and in fact you can rotate this in any direction, like the X, like this, and it still works. Whereas if I could just use the fill node, yeah, it's called the fill curve node, I've been mistaken throughout this time. If I use a fill curve node and connect it here, see what it does to this curve over here. It does a mess. And in fact, if I rotate it, maybe I select this one and link and just grab it along the z-axis, you can see that the face that is formed is down over here, but the original curves are over here. And those are the problems that I experienced using this fill curve node. And I wanted to solve this problem so much, and I'm really glad that I have finally found a solution. And if you find this video really helpful, it is very, very helpful to me, that it gives me a hope to continue making these videos, these tutorials in this small channel of mine. Please help me by subscribing, liking, and comment if you found this helpful. It really helps me that I'm making content and there are people somewhere are really enjoying it, and help them in becoming better in geometry nodes, because currently that's the only thing that I'm doing right now. Okay, that's all for today. So Have a good one.